Hello, this is Jon Miller, the creator of The Rest of Everest. I think I can safely say that this show is, without a doubt, the most in-depth look into the entire experience of what it takes to climb Everest, as well as some other peaks throughout the Himalayas. But all of the events in this series are shown in chronological order, so if you're new to the show, please go all the way back to episode 000 and watch everything in order. That's truly the best way to enjoy it. Thanks.
This is the Rest of Everest video podcast, an almost unabridged expedition experience. Episode 105, the best cheerleader.
Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Rest of Everest. I'm Jon Miller. Happy to be said that I'm joined again with Ben Clark down in Telluride, Colorado. How's it going, Ben?
Awesome, John. How are you today?
I'm doing great. And Josh Butson is also joining us down from Telluride. How's it going, Josh?
John, I'm having a wonderful day.
That's great. Well, this episode, we've talked about it a little bit. I'm glad to finally be able to show it to everyone. And it's a very important episode because it shows what really does happen on expeditions, that sometimes, plans change. And it's interesting to see how people kind of cope with everything and what the team has to do to cope with it, especially if one of their teammates decides that they don't want to go up any higher. And it's just going to be, I hope it's going to open everyone's eyes as to, mountaineering isn't always just so, much of like an adrenaline junkie sport. There's a lot that goes into it. They're very complex situations, and it's always just really good to see sort of the whole picture. And you so rarely get that in expedition films and television series. So I'm glad to be able to show the whole thing here. And so we're gonna get back up to, it's Camp 1 that was being set up last week, and that's where the discussion up here takes place. So here we go up to Camp 1.
So how was yesterday for you, Tim?
At the start, it was really hard because of the snow conditions and the stress of packing, and Dorji, our Sherpa, trying to help me pack. But like you said, it was physically or aerobically, it wasn't that bad. The pace we were going at was fine. It's just that it was just hard and long because of the snow, and it's like, it's like running uphill in sand or something. And then as we got higher, it got harder and harder, and then up there, it was just like slogging through, I don't know what, applesauce. And that was brutal. And yeah, I mean, I feel okay, but I'm sore everywhere. Like all these little here, and my calves and my forearms. My lungs were a little sore, but otherwise, I feel all right. It's a strange feeling up here sometimes, because sometimes it feels real comfortable, and then other times, that edge over there is, a 1,000-foot glacial cliff. Sometimes I'm like, oh. Other times it's like, oh, this is so cozy. Oh.
How do you feel this morning? How do you feel about going higher? About our new plan?
Feel good. Keep on trucking. Hopefully the weather will be nice. I like it when the weather's nice. I mean, I know that's not going to happen, but yeah, that's what we're here to do. Keep on going up. So, but the usual feelings, I mean, can I do it? Is it going to be too hard? Is the snow going to suck? Is it going to be technically difficult? Is it going to be scary? That's about it. See, I definitely have fear when I'm up here. Sometimes, like, when we're moving and we're active and we're doing stuff and we're concentrating on things, I usually feel pretty good. But then there's times, where I'm just like, just fear. Because I don't want to die. I want to go back to Telluride, play with my friends and my kids and you. But I'll be ready. Even though I think the hardest thing for me in this whole thing is packing up my pack and getting everything everything organized for some reason. It's just, I don't know if it's dyslexia or what. But otherwise, everything's groovy, and we're losing weight. I can feel it coming off right now.
There goes another pound.
Yeah. Oh.
Like, even if the weight is just mucus.
But man, this morning I came out here and to relieve myself, and I was looking over in that direction, and yeah, I turned around and I was just like, oh my God. I mean, it stopped me. That doesn't usually, things like that usually stop me in my tracks. It stopped me. It was just so beautiful. All the different peaks, and we were a little bit above the wisps of clouds and everything, and man, I think that's why the Buddhists come from this land, I guess. Yeah. I'd like a shave and a bath.
Perhaps a sponge bath.
Yes. That would be really nice. Actually, I'd rather take a bath before I hit the sponge bath. I don't want to alienate anyone. Yeah. That's about it.
I'm definitely gonna miss Tim on this next trip this spring coming. He
Totally.
brings a lot. Like, he brings so much to the trip that he doesn't even notice.
Only
Yeah.
because he's decided not to go, not because anything happened to him, everyone. I want to make sure that's clear.
Yeah,
He's fine.
yeah.
This isn't foreshadowing of any horrible event. So
That is true. Until next week, keep on watching.
Right. The only cliffhanger you'll see was in that last episode coming out of my nose.
I didn't even notice it. It's hard to see on the compressed version that we see while we're recording these.
oh yeah, in high definition, it was glorious.
Was it?
Yeah.
Huge. It's like a marble.
Is it all a spectrum of the rainbow?
It was wonderful.
It was big time. Every color of green. So here we are. Now we're actually getting into the old Austrian camp. We came up that applesauce hill, that steep slope with the applesauce covered rock. And I think that's Josh and that's Tim coiling the rope in. We're just talking about snow conditions, strategy, who's feeling good.
Trying to levitate. This is one of
Yeah.
the sections. You actually stayed on top. It was wind packed and refroze well enough.
So there we are.
Does that
Steep
look good or
slopes
bad?
heading up.
Is that a good looking or bad looking view? I don't have any concept of it. When you look
Doesn't
up
look
at that,
good.
you go, oh no. Or is you like, okay, that's completely doable.
I was saying, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I knew this.
doable, but it's deep. Big slope. It's a big face, both those mountains. So we come up a long, kind of steep spine, and then we finally get to a flatter point. And, you know, as is typical of this time of day, you start to see the first clouds moving in.
It's very quiet. It's really amazing.
Yeah. And very slow. I mean, this is fast, but it's slow.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing when you are climbing a mountain where it's technically challenging enough, or there's hazards of, you know, crevasses or cracks in the glacier itself that you may fall into, and you are tied together by a rope. You can only move as fast as that rope lets you.
Yep.
Unless you're the one in the lead, then you can try to pull the other person up.
Yeah. Not good night's sleep, period.
Yeah, I didn't sleep any. I had this headache all night. I mean, I tossed and turned for like 6 hours because I just couldn't get it together.
Great nights, baby. How's it feel? Join the club!
That's right, dude. How did you sleep last night, Tim?
Oh, I didn't sleep well at all.
Yeah.
No.
Dude, it's crazy.
But you got that camera on me, I'm just going to cry, that's all.
Well, just cry. F it, man. Shit happens.
Yeah.
I don't care. We've already been high in the Himalaya. We've already dropped some first descents.
Yeah.
We've done some cool stuff.
It's not like I feel, I don't feel any shame at all or anything like that. I just, I don't know, just release, I guess. It's just
Pressure's
like,
off.
Yeah, it's not me right now. And, you know, I'm 47 years old. Yeah, it would be nice to be a young extremo like you fuckers.
We did get started a lot earlier in life.
Yeah. But, you know, I'm just, it's weird. Once we got, you know, coming up to Camp 1, I felt okay. But then once we start going farther, it's like, wow. You know, if you start rolling, you're not going to stop.
No.
I mean, and I know that. I mean, Ben, you and I were here last year. And
Yeah, did the same thing.
still, it's just,
This is a little steeper than last year.
yeah.
Overall.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
I don't know. I'll be really happy at base camp
It's cool.
watching these guys hump their asses up there. And I will have treats waiting for them at base camp when they
My
come
goal
back.
is to make it back to this point.
Whether they summit or not, I will be the best fucking cheerleader. Go, team, go.
Oh, man.
Anyway, and you know, if I don't feel safe, I know, you know, my kids,
You got a lot more to think about.
my kids would definitely be really happy that I decided to turn around.
Totally.
So, and you know, if it was just like this the whole way, it's one thing. But I know what we got coming, and that's some, you know, I don't know, hairy shit. I'm tired. I don't want to jeopardize myself or you guys. So it's okay. I am. Maybe that's. I don't know what it means.
Say, if it's any consolation, I could vomit right now. Yeah, how about you?
I could.
Oh,
Probably about 100 vertical feet down below on command. But
nice.
now I have to
I could
drive
probably
work on.
vomit out of my nose right now.
Yeah.
you had this dream last night?
I wasn't sleeping.
So amazing though, because I was going back and forth, and before I fell asleep, I was real. I don't know. I was kind of fired up about it, and then when I woke up, I was all, you know, nervous and everything about it. But I don't know.
Have a
It's
clip
just-
shot block.
It's just
Makes
easier,
everything better.
and ultimately, you know, I'd rather, to be honest with you, if you guys didn't make it to the summit, I'd rather have you not make it to the summit because you guys couldn't make it to the summit.
Yeah.
Not because you were towing a f***ing walrus through the snow. Because
Cuckoo.
the way I was going today, you know, you can't last that long.
No. Nope.
I will not say it until the end of the trip. Ask me at the end of the trip, I'll say something else.
What's that?
Something funny. I'm going to save it to the end of the trip.
He's like, I saw Ben on the summit in a dream, and he was calling Domino's Pizza. He was calling Dorji's Pizza. Dorji and Pasong's Pizza.
George, Pizzeria.
That's right. And it was hardcore.
At just under 16,000 feet.
That's right. But
Hey.
something...
It means more and takes a lot more to actually say than it does to drag it out to the point that you think you're way
Uh-huh.
ahead.
Yeah, I could
Yeah.
just tell them this last stretch. It's like, you know.
You're done, you're done.
And ultimately, you know, I mean, if I didn't say anything and I just kept going, you know, that doesn't do our friendship any good.
No, it's gonna. We don't want anybody to get hurt.
No,
period.
No. And you guys, after a while, it'd be like, you'd be like, you know, because if I'm not saying anything, then, you know, but it just doesn't feel right for me.
Fair.
Which is bizarre, because the whole way here, the whole hike in, everything, I was like, rawr. But there's something about it, getting this far off of the ground.
Air's a little bit
it does something to me. I'm not sure what it is, you know. But you remember, Josh is the guy who taught me how to rock climb. You know?
Yeah.
And when I first started doing this, I was scared to death. I think that's why I kept.
To teach you how to ice climb.
Why
too.
I kept, yeah, that's right. That's why I kept moving towards it and trying to figure out how to do it. And you know, like I said, for me, it's been a lot about repetition. Now, if we had something similar to this, not in Annapurna 4, but snowfields and crevasses and everything in Colorado, and I could like cruise around and do repetition on, I'd probably feel a lot more comfortable here.
Sure.
But on the maps, it says we have glaciers in Colorado, so go check those out.
Yeah, if you can find them, let me know where they are.
And Mount Wilson.
But
I'd be totally psyched to go climb those.
yeah. But anyway, there's still time for you guys to get up there.
Yeah, there's tons of time. There's the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
There's plenty of time for all of us to have fun still.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is good acclimation. You're going to ski down with hardly anything. And when you do come back up to Camp 1, if I can help you haul a bunch of shit and be the haul man, the grunt man, then it's almost like nothing happened except you missed a couple days.
Yeah, well, and I'm not concerned about the days. We're gonna, I mean, I think at this point, Josh and I know what we have to do.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much pare it down to nothing. I think I can cut at least a few pounds.
I always feel like I need to puke again.
Do you? Yeah. I think we know what to do. We have got a lot of experience doing fast, light, alpine-style climbs. And I think we know what to do.
I don't know if those Austrians can make it to Camp 3, and you guys can get your skis up there,
We'll make it.
I think you guys could have a good chance of getting up there.
Yeah, we'll make it. This climb will go.
Hey, look, yet another white owl.
Welcome to the Himalayas in the afternoon. The beautiful, beautiful view of the Himalaya. Welcome to the high Himalaya.
That episode really underscores. I have this tagline, kind of slogan for the podcast, an almost unabridged expedition experience, and really that's just a marketing thing because it means nothing because it's very, very abridged. There's so much going on that we'll just never be able to get documented properly, even if we keep filming these expeditions for the next 20 years. I mean, there's so much that happens. You really can't you can't cover all of it. And it just was, when I was editing this footage, I was just, my mouth was agape, just in awe of how eloquently Tim put all of that. I mean, it was just amazing to watch, and I'm just so thankful that he said all of that on camera, because that's not easy to do. It's not easy. He was feeling very, very vulnerable, and he was feeling bad about potentially letting his buddies down, and what he said, it rings so true. I'm sure with so many people watching this too, they're like, maybe I can't understand what it's like to climb mountains, but I can understand what that guy was feeling that day. Completely. And I'm just, thanks a lot, Tim. I just want to, just really, really, really glad that you were able to say all that.
Yeah, he's a strong guy. I mean, I think that going to the Himalayas and trying to get up a big mountain in alpine style it's really hard, because you're disconnected from the ground, whereas say we're climbing Everest, you've got a rope that is from top to bottom, and all these people and all these logistics. And so when you actually are there and you're autonomous and you don't have that safety or that ability to just drop off at some point and head back down and be like, okay, see you guys later. which is the kind of thing that I might could have done on Everest. I could have just said, all right, well, on Laqua, have fun at the summit. Peace, I'm out of here. And I could have rappelled the entire climb by myself. And I think Tim is a good guy for knowing his limits and also, going up there, showing up and pushing them. That's what it's about. You don't always summit, and you don't always go so far that you can't return, and that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it an adventure. It's certainly, if one thing is for certain, it's never certain.
Sure. Yeah, and this is a theme that we'll approach once more before the expedition is out. The episodes of the expedition, there will be some more big decisions made as the expedition gets higher up the mountain, and just situations change once more. So there's more to be said about this, and I thank you guys for being along for this ride. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, cool, John. Thanks.
And so next week we will be back down in base camp, but it's not going to be boring, I promise you. In fact, I do promise an avalanche or two. So how about that? So thanks so much, guys, and we'll catch you next week.
Cool, John.
Take care. Bye.
The Rest of Everest is downloaded all over the world every day, and watching the show has become a part of many people's weekly routine. The show will always be free to download, but it's by no means free to produce. Please help me cover my costs by making a small monthly or one-time donation from the right sidebar on my website, and in return I'll give you some cool bonus materials. A donation of any amount will grant you access to some interesting video content, including high-definition versions of several podcast episodes. A one-time donation of $25 or more, or any of the monthly donation options, will additionally grant you access to a downloadable version of the film Everest: The Other Side, which episodes 1 to 61 are based on. I really cannot express how vital these donations are, and if you've made a donation, thank you so much. As always, our announcer is Marlon May, and our music is provided by Wendy Wu. Check her out at wendywoo.com. Thanks so much, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for watching The Rest of Everest. For more information on the expedition, please visit therestofeverest.com.